Welcome everyone. Today finds me at Wilderness Lodge, where I have dinner reservations for character dining at Storybook Dining at Artist Point. I've never been here. It's a relatively new character dining experience. So let's go inside and see what it's all about. And it looks like I'm following a moose, perhaps. You see that in the pavement? I've been in the lodge many times, but this is the first time I've done character dining in probably over 10 years. At that point, it was Pooh and Friends. And this is truly an impressive, grand structure. And although my reservation isn't until about an hour, I'm going to wander around. I'm going to make sure that I can find the dining room, and then I'll be all set. This is interesting, an old handcart. I never know if this stuff is real or if it's something they built in their Disney workshop. But here are some things that are real. There are all the different rocks. I don't know if it's things that are found around here, but I think it's things that are on this fireplace, going all the way to the top. All the different rocks that make up this fireplace and chimney. And that is a massive fireplace. It's probably 7 feet tall. It's like a doorway. And look at this. It looks just like a geyser, like Old Faithful. And let's walk across this bridge and take a look outside. And that river goes right outside. And doesn't this look incredibly relaxing? We've got time. I think I'll sit down in one of these chairs and just look out over the river. Not for very long though, because I'm going to walk around the grounds and give you a little bit of a tour. And by the way, I do have someone dining with me this evening, so if you see double entrees and double drinks, I'm not gorging myself. Someone is just here with me, and that gives me the ability to show you twice as much of the food options and beverage options. Oh, this is beautiful. Yes, I'm rocking in my chair. I just heard a loud noise, and it was a geyser going off back in the swimming area. Let's see if we can catch it. There's where I was sitting in the rocking chair relaxing, and look up there. That is really impressive. And this is at the very top, looking down, down, down. Isn't that cool? How that lampshade, a chandelier, or whatever you want to call it, looks like an Indian teepee. And the Indian is chasing the buffalo. Now on every floor, there's a little area where you can relax. And look at that one. It even has a fire burning. Doesn't that look cozy? And this is a really cool totem pole. All the Disney characters. And guess who's at the top? You got it. The boss man himself. I think I'd look pretty good at the top of the totem pole. What do you think? I will say this, until it's time for your reservation, there are plenty of places, very comfortable places, to relax and wait and look around and take in the majesty of this structure. Okay, maybe it's not majestic, but it is pretty cool. Well, we got seated, but the table is a little strange because we're hidden behind a pillar. Here's the table, and there's a pillar right there. If I look a little to the side, you can see the evil queen. But if I sit back in my chair, I see nothing. And our table looks at the ramp, but it also looks right outside. The table setting is kind of reminiscent of an apple, and you see it has an apple tag wrapped around it. And then here is the menu. So the menu unsnaps, and then you can open it up. And it tells a little story of the enchanted forest. So the interesting thing tonight, he said the only thing that we have to decide on is the main entree. He said everything else is going to be already determined in the dinner. So let's read this story. And of course, the last page in our book says, the end.
Welcome, friends! Once upon a time, there lived a princess with skin as white as snow.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
That's black, Johnny Walker Black, a little mixed berry Moen, and lime juice.
Thank you. Wow, look at that.
What's the fragrance of this robe?
This is an enchanted apple. Look how it catches the light from around the room. And there's an apple slice in there.
Hi-ho! It's home from work they go. Grumpy and Dopey are on their way to join in your adventure. Please give a big welcome to Grumpy and Dopey!
Yay! So the smoke had just kind of like a burnt oak to it. Let's see how this tastes. Wow, you really get that smoke flavor in your nostrils when you drink it. But it's very sweet, very fruity. It's supposed to be a bourbon, but it doesn't taste harsh at all. It's very, very smooth. I'm pretty sure that the menu said that's Johnny Walker Black. I'll try the apple martini. Very, very sweet. Really delicious. So this is chicken sausage. And we have mushroom bisque. And this is a shrimp cocktail. And that's the appetizer, so you get a good variety. Here's the shrimp cocktail. There are 2 for each guest, and these are really large shrimp. Rather than comment throughout the whole meal, what I'll do is show you pictures of the food, and then we'll talk about it at the end of the dinner. And here's the bisque, but my spoon fell. He said he would get me another, but I think he forgot, so I'll have to get a spoon. Uh-oh, look who's coming our way. Well, hello, Grumpy. And everything turns right for the Queen. So this is a stroll through nature, and it's a vegetarian dish. There is no meat in this. And this is my prime rib. And you can see I haven't had a chance to even touch my appetizer yet. And this is called the Transformation Potion. It's non-alcoholic. It's like a lemonade, and it has, I don't know, the secret potion. Ready to pour it in? Let's see what it's like. Wow, look at that. But the real magic is in the taste. So let's see what that tastes like. Yeah, it's like lemonade, but a fun lemonade. Snow is running around hiding from the Queen. I don't know where she went, but she was hiding behind this pole right next to me.
Everyone, follow our lead and join in the silly song.
So that's a gooseberry, and it has a meringue, and that's a poison apple, and that is just layered with lots and lots of stuff, more than I can remember. But it does have a dopey hat on top of it, so it's got that going for it.
All right, this is the huntsman's gift to the Queen. And chocolate ganache hearts and caramel popcorn.
Oh my!
We are going to put it in this little plate here so you can enjoy. That beautiful little heart. Tasty too.
She was big with you. Oh yeah.
Thank you for taking our night.
There you go. Enjoy.
Thank you. So this miner just has a lot of layers of colorful gems, I suppose, and it's all very sweet candy. There is a tattoo, or actually it's a brand, of a hidden Mickey. Right on that horse. And that is on the ceiling of the bar. So right now we found a quiet place on the second floor where we're going to talk about the meal. Okay, that was just a little weird. I sat down to start giving the review and 2 people plopped down right behind me. So I am up one more level No burning fireplace here, but nevertheless, we can talk a little bit about the meal. So I'm not going to go through the whole meal. You saw pictures of it, you saw it on the menu. I will say it was really filling, and it was really nice to get a sample of everything. So the appetizers were just enough. That mushroom bisque was really, really good, really tasty. The shrimp, plenty of shrimp. Between the two of us, we got 4 big, large shrimp. The coating on the shrimp, it didn't come with a dip or anything like that. It was already kind of tossed, and it was sort of a creamy coating. It was mild, and it was really good. And then they had the pressed chicken. It was kind of like a pate, but it was just nice to have a little something to whet your appetite, prepare you for the main meal. As far as mine, I'm not a real big prime rib fan to start with, so I might be the wrong person to give a review of that. I thought I'd try it just to see how they prepare it, what it tasted like. I thought there was a lot of fat on it. It was awful chewy. It wasn't a real tender cut of meat, but it was okay. And as far as the desserts really put it over the top. As you saw, there were actually 4 desserts. The one with all the layers, that was sort of like a pudding on top, and then it had some crushed kind of candy pieces, and then it had a little bit of cupcake on the bottom layer with some whipped cream on the top. That was really delicious. And that dopey hat was a piece of white chocolate. And then they had the apple, the poison apple, and that was just a chocolate mousse. I think that the presentation was more interesting than the actual flavor. It was just your run-of-the-mill chocolate mousse. But when they brought that heart out, oh my goodness. Oh, before we talk about that, let's talk about that little miniature pie, the gooseberry pie. It really tasted more kind of like an apple crisp, is really what that was like when they brought that heart out. What a presentation. Wasn't that interesting? And it was just a really sweet, tasty piece of chocolate is really what that was, along with the caramel corn. So all told, by the time I got my pass holder discount, which was 20%, and then I left a 18 or 20% tip, whatever they suggested on the bill, it was $161 for 2 people. And I didn't think that was too bad for everything you got. By the time we got the bill and paid that, we were the last people in the entire restaurant. So I feel like they were really trying, although they did really good service, and they took the time, they made sure that we were seen by every character, by Dopey, by Grumpy, by Snow White, and we got up to see the Queen. I did feel a bit rushed. And other than that, it was a really good experience. We were seated in that side restaurant, which I think when it was in full swing, I think it would be fine. I thought it was a little uncomfortable when we were the only table there, us and one other family were the only tables in that little area. But I will say that Snow White and the dwarfs really made an effort to come through there, and they sang and danced and moved through. So we certainly did not feel like we were neglected. Overall, I thought it was a really good experience. I thought it was a really good character dining. The food was delicious, and I thought it was well worth it. I can tell you one thing, I am not hungry. So I hope you enjoyed our visit to Storybook Dining with Snow White at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge. That's too much of a mouthful for me to say, but we're at Wilderness Lodge and it's a character dining, and it was really good. So as always, I encourage you to like and share the videos, leave your comments and questions down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm Mark with the Average Me channel.